So it's Valentine's Day, a day of love, and I thought what better time is it to make a video about the power couples in the MCU, and there are a couple of them to say the least. So let's start off with number 12 with Stephen Strange and Christine Palmer. I mean, they are a weird one. In the first Doctor Strange movie, it's like they were kind of distant. We got the sense that, yeah, they were a couple and they broke off and they are not doing too well, like on and off type of situation, even though we know they care about each other. And when the What If show came, we got that love that, you know, they shared in another universe, that is. I know it's a little cheating, but since the What If show is canon to the MCU, I'm, you know, adding that story, that beautiful, obsessive, heartbreaking story of the love that they shared and Stephen just, you know, had for Christine. In the Multiverse of Madness, of course, we found out that Doctor Strange, Stephen still loves her, but, you know, he missed his chance. He should have gone for it, but he was too busy or just didn't value that relationship that much, and now he's missed the one he truly loves. Officially now in the MCU, they have broken up. Christine is now married, and now they are pairing Stephen with Clea, which we saw in the Multiverse of Madness post-credit scene. So we'll see where their relationship ends up in the future MCU projects.
I love you. I love you in every universe.
At number 11, we have Clint Barton and Laura. In Age of Ultron, we found out that Hawkeye, Clint himself, was married and he had kids. Like, this shock and surprise to the Avengers and us, the audience, but it looks like they're happily married. She supports him in, you know, doing his superhero stuff. In Hawkeye, the show, we found out that she was a SHIELD agent and we don't know the backstory of how they met and all that. But apart from Tony and Pepe and maybe Steve Rogers and Peggy, they are the only couple in the MCU that are married. Though even after Age of Ultron, they haven't fleshed out, you know, their relationship. You know, we understand that because of, you know, all the things that are going on in the movie. And it was a bummer that even the Hawkeye show, they didn't show their relationship together in, you know, at least one episode. She was barely in it and we only saw her at the end of the finale. So maybe, hopefully, we will see them together in the MCU, but at this point, we don't know if Jeremy Renner will return and play Hawkeye again. But hey, we will wait and see.
Just be sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Next at number 10, we have Mark and Layla in Moon Knight, who are also married, but, you know, because of Mark and his memories and his split personality, he broke off from her. But they reunited. You can see the chemistry between them. He really loves her, and that's why he did all he did to protect her. She loves him back, and thus didn't understand why he couldn't share with her, you know, so that they go through all that together. In the end, she powered up and they became this dynamic power couple that just, you know, fought together in the finale. Next is T'Challa and Nakia from Black Panther. One a prince turned king, the other a warrior and a very good undercover agent. I mean, the first time we see them together, there was just this chemistry and that awkward funny moment that they had in the first movie really played into how they felt about each other but chose not to pursue. But in the end, they did, and it was beautiful. In the second movie that just came out, we found out that, hey, they had a kid together, but T'Challa is now gone. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
I should have.
Can't blame me, I almost died.
At number 8, we have Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, Ant-Man and the Wasp. They fell for each other since the first Ant-Man movie. I mean, that was something that we all saw coming. Their relationship hasn't been overly focused on like other, you know, MCU couples where it is fused into their story. But they are a dynamic duo since Ant-Man and the Wasp. They've been fighting together. In Quantumania, they are also there through thick and thin. And with Quantumania on the way, it looks like they're going to go through a lot with Kang, who could potentially, you know, lead to one of them's death, which is something that I'm very afraid of, but we'll wait and see.
I don't know what you were doing grabbing and kissing me like that. I'm a little surprised myself. I have to get somewhere. I'll see you
At
later.
number 7, we have Loki and Sylvie. Yes, him and her. Technically the same person, but also different. I mean, with Loki being a narcissist who could he loved more than himself, and that is himself, even though he went through some character development in the show. But then he meets Sylvie and that's how everything changed for him. He found someone that he could actually pour his whole heart to, connect to, two. And of course, people were shipping them right off, and they actually, you know, fell for each other, even though Sylvie betrayed him at the end. With Loki season 2 coming, we will see how that relationship goes. Would they, you know, end up together? Because let's face it, they are going to end up together and face whatever threat that is coming in the second season.
Don't ask me how I know. All I know is I don't want to hurt you. I just want you to be okay.
At the C spot, we have Thor and Jane Foster, Thor and Mighty Thor. Let's be honest, in the first two movies, it felt like they just paired these two beautiful human beings together. The chemistry was there, but it was, you know, not all that much. And in the third movie, she wasn't even there, and they gave that, you know, exposition that, oh, they broke up. And in Endgame, you know, Thor was all heartbroken about everything that is lost. And of course, he talked about Jane.
Oh, you know, Jane and I aren't even dating anymore, so...
And in the fourth movie, when Jane returned, we all knew they were going to end up back together in the date, and it was wonderful. Like, their chemistry was much more connective, and of course they showed a flashback of how they were together before they broke up and all that. And when Jane, you know, revealed that she had cancer, their moments together, like, it was super emotional. And when Jane sacrificed herself and all that, even though Thor Ragnarok, you know, wasn't the best MCU film, we can all agree that the chemistry and the relationship of Thor and Jane really was one of the highlights of the movie.
I love you too.
At the fifth spot, we have Peter Quill and Gamora. A human Ravager ended up with Thanos' daughter. Like, who would have thought? But they hit it off. Even though Gamora was hardened, you know, by Thanos' training and all that, Peter Quill had already fallen for her and trying so hard to, you know, get her attention, to drop her shield. And she did, fighting together, saving the galaxy together. We were a team, in a team, Guardians of the Galaxy. But sadly, you know, Gamora was offed by Thanos, but she returned the game, you know, from another timeline that passed in Avengers Endgame. So in volume 3, we'll see how their relationship goes, whether, you know, Gamora will fall for him again or everything will be changed. At the fourth spot, we have Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter, the two sweethearts that have been in love across time. Steve ended up in the future, but still had one true love, and that was Peggy Carter. Even though Peggy Carter, we saw her show and all that, how she tried to move on, and Captain America, the Winter Soldier, we saw that she had moved on. She had a husband, she had kids, she was old now. Then we cut to Endgame, Avengers, and then when he went back in time, he saw her. I think that's the moment that informed his decision on staying back in time and living the rest of his life with her. And it was a beautiful ending for them, especially Steve Rogers, who has been through a lot, and finally he had his happy ending. At number 3, we have Peter Parker and MJ. Yeah, these two high school kids who are now going to college in the next installments of the Spider-Man movies. And they've come a long way, haven't they? As short as their time in the MCU has been. MJ was kind of the awkward kid and, you know, bullied people, made fun of people, you know, a loner. And then you have Peter Parker having this other identity, even had a crush on another person, totally Liz. But then in the second movie, they started, you know, spending more time together. And then it clicked. Whether it was because Tom Holland and Zendaya were having feelings for each other at that time, and, you know, their chemistry was really hard at that time, but they really had it. And she was also his rock. She stood by him through all that BS that he went through in No Way Home. He just have that spark, and I guess Tom Holland and Zendaya dating in real life also played a factor in that, but we don't know when they started, you know, dating. Not officially, but before they came out officially. Like, they are amazing.
I love you.
I love you, sweet.
Wait, you tell me when you see me again.
At the second spot, we have Wanda and Vision. Like, who else is going to be here? Wanda and Vision have been through a lot. From Age of Ultron, where they first met, went through, you know, the end of the world together, saved her, and then cut to Civil War. They started bonding little by little, becoming closer, and then cut to Infinity War, and they were already a couple, and wow, do their chemistry really shine. Like, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen are fine actors, and their love and them being together is so easy to get behind. mind because you want them to be happy. We all know what happened in Infinity War. She had to sacrifice him for the sake of the universe. And then in her own show, WandaVision, that is when she manifested, of course, her grief and everything, and then she brought him back in a sense. And it was a beautiful love story for a while until things started unfolding. Hopefully they reunite. If any couple or any other person deserves to be happy in the MCU, I feel like they should be at the top spot, considering how much they've sacrificed, for humanity.
We have said goodbye before, so it stands to reason
We'll say hello again.
And at number 1, we have Tony Stark and Pepper Potts. Who was going to take the top spot? Is the MCU's first couple. They've been together since phase 1, since the first movie that kicked off the MCU. Pepper, who was just, his secretary, along with other factors, was able to change the person that Tony Stark was. People easily forget that this guy fell so hard for Pepper that he actually gave his company to her. He made her CEO of Stark Industries. That's how hard he fell. And they've been together ever since, going through every trial, every villain, until Tony Stark finally proposed. After the events of Infinity War, they got married in Endgame, they have a kid, and then Tony Stark sacrificed himself and she was there with him all the way. That's love. I feel like love changed Tony Stark, and that love was Pepper Potts.
We need time.
I can't believe you have that thing in your pocket.
You get the door for you, hon?
Now I have to give a special mention to Wade and Vanessa from the Deadpool franchise. I made this video a while ago, finished editing, and then now that I'm about to post it, Valentine's Day and all that, I realized that damn, I didn't put Deadpool there. I didn't put Wade and Vanessa because they are one of the best couples in Marvel, when it comes to the movies and whatever live action. But he wasn't part of the MCU, that's why I didn't add it. But now he's part of the MCU and all that. Anyways, their love is as genuine can be. I mean, Ryan and Marina, their chemistry is off the charts, and they look good together. I mean, the love is special and real when the person loves you despite how you look. And I mean, Vanessa, she's stuck with Wade even throughout, everything, him ghosting her, thought that no one would love someone like him, especially him looking like this now. But no, Vanessa was different. Even though she was put in danger, got kidnapped, and almost lost her life, she still opened her heart to him. Could have broken up with him because he put her in danger, but no, she stuck with him all the way, and even as of now she's still with him, as we saw in the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. I mean, just beautiful. If they were in the list, they could have been in the top 5, but anyways, they look good together, and amazing chemistry, genuine love, and just one of the best. Another special mention to Daredevil, Matt Murdock himself. This guy, I mean, I even made a video on his love life, him being essentially the dog in the MCU, since he's practically dated more ladies than anyone. And since Daredevil Born Again has made it pretty clear that the past 3 seasons is canon to the MCU, I just have to put him on this list. And I can confidently say that every single one that is encountered or had a relationship, some sort of relationship with, he's had great chemistry with them, some more than others. His first relationship with Claire, the chemistry was freaking there, and I was really sad that they broke up. Next is Karen. They were pretty amazing together. And then next was Elektra. I mean, it was insane how good they were together. And then lastly was Jennifer, She-Hulk herself. That was just a fling, but there was still some form of chemistry when they interacted. Now the top 3 were, first, Elektra. I mean, it was so amazing. Anytime they were on screen together, there was just this electric in the air. The second is Claire. It was a short-lived one, but it was beautiful. I mean, that their first kiss was, man, you only have to watch it to see and feel that spark colliding with gunpowder. Just totally explosive. Next, the third one, lastly, Karen. I did enjoy them together, which in Daredevil Born Again, I don't know how their relationship is going to be, because in the trailers and even behind the scenes, there is a new lady he's going to have another romantic relationship with, but we'll wait and see how that goes. But yeah, that's Matt Murdock for you. And we did see how it went. Hi, Nelly Sage from the future here. Yeah. after watching Daredevil Born Again, the relationship was okay. It wasn't like, I will not say the chemistry wasn't there, but compared to, you know, Matt and Electra, even comparing it to Matt and, you know, Karen, and not saying Karen and Matt don't have chemistry, that, you know, Charlie Cox and Deborah and Wool aren't good together, their chemistry doesn't click. But, you know, this was just like, I liked it for a bit, but then the trust issues, him hiding his identity from her, the decisions she made, of course, towards the ending of the show, where she didn't trust Matt, but interestingly enough, trust Fisk, who is a known convicted criminal who's been in prison. But yeah, this was okay-ish, and we can all agree that she's the least favorite ship with Matt. Now, lastly on the list, I have Reed Richards and Sue Storm from the Fantastic Four First Steps. The list has become weird now because I'm inserting this, you know, in this part. But yeah, Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, their chemistry was magic. Like, it was so magic that it carried over to real life, the press that they were doing. And I know it's become weird in Hollywood nowadays when you have two actors who are in a relationship, you know, in a movie, and then during press they act as if they are in a relationship in real life, even though some of them even have partners, right? But this was really good. I enjoyed their chemistry. Like I said, it was believable, it felt real. So yeah, they just clicked. Now that's it for the best MCU couples. I mean, as you can tell, every superhero, you know, needs someone to go home to, you know, after that hard day, after, you know, putting their body, their life on the line. And it's always good to see that, as you can see, some of these actors have more chemistry than others, maybe because they hit it off, maybe they have become closer, and maybe they are even friends and even dated in real life. And so it has a lot of factors. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this list, these MCU couples, and who are your top 5. And if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like. It does help the video when the channel out. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell not to miss any new video as well. As always, Nerdy Sage here. See you guys in the next one.